Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Digest. Today we are going to discuss about static keyword in Java. So I purposely omit this static keyword to maintain a sequence of for the topics we have covered so far, right? So static keyword was left purposely. So today we are going to cover the static keyword. In Java, static keyword is used to declare members that belong to the class rather than to instance of the class. It's very important. What is a static keyword? Just a minute. What is a static keyword? So static keyword is used to declare members. Members means in a class, what are the members? The members are, it could be the variables, right? Variables, right? Methods, right? And also we can declare some static blocks. Static blocks. Okay, and also we can declare a static subclass. Okay, subclass, right? Static methods, static variables, static blocks, and static subclass. So why we need this static keyword or the static members? Static members are basically class properties rather than the instance property. To access these class property, we have seen so far that to access any variables, any methods, right, inside a public static void main or in other classes, we need to instantiate that particular class. Okay, but if you are using static keyword, you do not need to instantiate that class. That is why the static keywords are called, or the static property. The advantage of static property is these are the class property, not the instance property. Okay, these are belongs to class rather than instance of the class, right? So static keyword can be used for, I already told you, right? We can use some blocks, we can use some variables, we can use some methods, we can use also subclasses, right? So there are some characteristics of static keyword, right? So static keyword has static variables and methods are allocated memory space only once during the execution of the program. Okay, so static, any static members will be allocated to memory space only once during the execution of the program. So it's memory efficient, right? This memory space is shared among all the instances of the class. Okay, now, so first point is what? First point is we can say shared memory allocation. Shared memory allocation. Second point could be the static members can be accessed without the need to create an instance of the class. We have already discussed, right? We do not need any instance, so we can access without instantiation of class, right? Then obviously the next point would be it is not associated with class, it is associated with, sorry, it is associated with class, not associated with object. You do not need any object, or it is not associated with object, it is a class property. So next point could be class property. Okay, so any static method, right, any static method or static block, if you are declaring any non-static, or if you are using any non-static member, suppose inside a static method you are declaring or you are using some non-static variables, that won't be possible. Okay, that won't be possible, that cannot be possible. So cannot access non-static members. Basically the fourth point would be cannot access non-static members, right? So these are the I mean basic points or basic feature of static keyword, right? Now how to use these static things, right? How to use these static things already we have used in our code, that is public static void main. What does it mean? Do you need any kind of object to access main method, or is it possible if I mean, see, main method is getting executed by JVM, and JVM do not know what is your class name basically, or it doesn't have any instantiation or object of the class. So that is why the main method is static, right? Only class name and the main method would do everything in for execution of the whole program, right? Okay, fine. So how to use these static things? So before going to the code, let me tell you about some static memory in the memory space, right? So let's say we have, this is my memory space. Okay, this is my memory space. Okay, and here are some memory spaces, right? Here are some memory spaces, and some memory spaces are allocated with static. Okay, so whenever you are creating a static variable, static constant, static method, the corresponding variables or corresponding data will be stored in this static field. Okay, in this static area. Okay, what is the property of this particular area? It holds the value. Static memory holds the value. Okay, static memory holds the value. When the static memory will be called? As soon as, when the static memory will be called? As soon as the class is loaded. As soon as the class is loaded. Okay, so when static memory will be called, or static members will be called? As soon as the class is loaded. Correct? Now let's see with some example. Okay, so let me open, sorry, let me open VS Code. Let me create one class called static keyword tut dot java. Fine. By the way, these static keywords or static variables are used to declare something, right? Declare some variables in the class level. Okay, so let's suppose here I have a static variable. Okay, static, let's say int a equal to 1, right? Static int a equal to 1, right? Now if I have some maybe what I can do is, let's say this is my sorry constructor. Okay, so if I put a constructor like this, and if I do like a plus plus, okay, a plus plus, and then what I have to do, simply sys out statement a. Okay, now if we inside main method, okay, if we instantiate this class, simply instantiate this class, we are instantiating this class to access the constructor, okay, nothing else, to access the constructor, because to access the a static variable we do not need to instantiate, but to instantiate to access the constructor, because we want to see the behavior of this particular variable, static variable inside constructor. Now if we simply instantiate like new static keyword tut, right, and if we do it multiple times, though we are not we are not going to use this particular object in anywhere, we are just instantiating the class to access the constructor. Okay, okay, right. So if we run it now, then see, you are getting this 2 3 4 5 6. That means whenever we are instantiating the class, this variable is actually holding the last value. So a plus plus means 2, a plus plus means 2, a is initialized 1, a plus plus means 2, and it is printing 2 here. And then at the next line again we are instantiating, we are calling this particular constructor, right? It is not taking the value 1, it is taking the value 2 as initial value, and it is incrementing, like a plus plus is incrementation by 1, okay, and it is printing 3. That is why 2 3 4 5 6. And the magic happens here if we simply omit the static keyword here, right, and if we run it, then see, it is all 2 2 2 2 2 2. Correct, because it is not holding, without static keyword it is not holding the last value, but as soon as we are introducing the static keyword, it is holding the last value. Okay, the last value. Correct. Now this is how this static method, or not static method, static variable or static keyword works. Okay, now static could be variable, just like we have declared static variable. Static could be method. Public static void main is a static method. Apart from that, we can declare another method like static int add, maybe, okay, and we have to return Okay, inside add we can pass some arguments a comma b, sorry, int b, and return simply a plus b. This is how we declare a static method. Okay, so if we are not even creating any instance of this particular class, then also we can access this particular add method. How? It is simple. Class name static keyword tut dot add. Okay, and you put the arguments here. Suppose 2 and another argument is 3. Okay, another argument is 3. Now if we simply sys out statement, and right, and if you run it, see, the answer is 5. Answer is 5. Without instantiating the class, we are able to access the static method. So when the static method is getting initialized, as soon as the class is loaded, when the class is loaded, as soon as this public static void main is getting executed, that's it. Right, now let's suppose I have any static block. What is static block? Static block, if I want to instantiate something in the class level, okay, initiate something in the class level, then we should have some static block. Okay, suppose in the static block I have one message basically. So what is that? Initializing static block, right? Initializing static block, simple, nothing else. Any other variable also you can use, but here only this message. Okay, now suppose, now when this particular thing will be executed, as soon as this public static void main will be executed and this class is loaded, right? So if we run it now, then see, initializing static block is first executed. That means this static block is getting first executed, then this particular system.out.println is getting executed. Okay, so whenever, so any class, any static block or static memory will be called, right, or static block or static member will be executed as soon as the, the class is loaded. Correct? Simple? Okay, fine. So another thing is there, I mean static subclass, but before that I want to I want to clear the concept of why, or and not why actually, when to use static variables and methods, right? Use a static variable for the property that is common to all objects. Okay, so if you are initializing any variable as static, okay, or you just remember that property that is common to all the objects. Okay, it's like a constant. Okay, it's like a constant. Other than that, not all variables are needed to be declared as static, because static, just think about it, static memory, what I showed you just now, static memory is limited. Okay, static memory is limited, so we have to use that static memory in intelligent way. Okay, not all the members of a particular class will be declared as static. Okay, but that will in turn uh, uh, create some static memory, lose of static memory basically. Okay, and next is static class. Basically, what is static class? Is static class is a kind of class inside class. Okay, or we can say subclass basically, right? We can say it is a subclass. Now suppose let me create another class. Okay, sub class tut.java. Okay, subclass tut.java. So suppose here I have one private string member. Okay, one private string member. So private static string str. Suppose the name is suvambanerjee. Okay. Now, what is how static class will be declared here? Static class is basically or subclass is basically class inside class. Static class. Suppose it's my name. Let me create this particular class. Right. Inside this my name class, let me create uh, some display method. Public void display, simply display. Okay, now in the display what will do sysout statement, and what will display is str, right? So this is the subclass. Okay, class inside class is called subclass. Okay, now if we create, how to access this particular subclass? It's again main method. We'll declare some main method. Then actual class subclass tut dot my name is another class. Okay, equal to new okay. So it was like as the my name, the subclass is or this particular class my name, right? It's a static class. We can directly declare this my name as this. Okay, new my name. Okay, and then obj dot display, right? If we run it, then it should display the name Suvambanerjee, right? So this is how we declare subclass or static subclass, and we access this particular members. Okay, this is the way to I mean we can use in our programming, but not very often we use these things. Okay, okay, fine. Now, what are the advantages of static things? right? That is a main question, right? Why do we declare everything as static? Not everything, but something as static, right? So first thing, we have already discussed that it is memory efficient, right? So once class is loaded, the static block will be loaded or instantiated uh, only once. Okay, it has, as it is memory efficient, it has some improved performance, obviously. Okay, it has global accessibility without creating any instance of any class, right? Directly class name dot a method or variable we can use, just I showed you. Okay, now uh, constants, we can declare some constants using static final variables. Static final variables means the variables will be loaded or instantiated only once, and final means cannot be changed throughout the program. So the constant would be, if we declare that the constants with static and final, that would be better option, right? So I think these are the advantages of static keyword overall, and this is all for, about static keyword basically, right? Hope you have understood the static keyword concept of static keyword. If you are not understanding anything, please let me know in the comment section so that I can take a doubt clearing session kind of thing, right? So thanks for watching.